Yes, new beginnings, new beginnings. There is a term called, or a state, one of many in many countries that has the first word of expression is new, new, and we want to try to um, look at that term within itself and how it relates to what is called a new people or new, um, just new. It could be new Africa, primarily what I want to talk about, and people just want to new. There is a new Jerusalem, house of peace, and new, not existing before, made, introduced, or discovered recently, or now for the first time, already existing but seen, experienced, or acquired recently, or now for the first time, already existing, um, but seen, experienced, but is a dispute word, really. Uh, Maybe the definition indicate disputing what has been seen and or experienced. If you look at the word York, come from the Europe word, New York, New York, is that it's a clear indication that the people wanted to bring, their their that which they can identify with across the ocean or the water, and because they beginning anew, but this it is something that they want to are able to that they can recognize within that which they have become you know accustomed to and comfortable with in their collective identity, not individual identity. You can tell the psychology of one's mentality by what he or she produces, or you can tell the um, psychology of one mentality or the mentality of one psychology of what he or she produces. But what I'm saying is that the mentality um, represents one's collective psychology, that which resonates um, within their soul, you know. So therefore, they want to change their ch- that which they can identify with collectively in the change of a new environment, new environment, and it says that people that were brought over here, the Africans, they wasn't equipped and prepared because it was done by force to adjust, uh, maybe and quick enough and fast enough to this new environment, this new living, you know. So, so they had to make the adjustment, you know. And once they made the adjustment, they have to deal with the capture, the then have to deal with the trauma, and have to deal with the being transported. You know, people call it the middle passage. You know, being transported, and because if you are not equipped and prepared, you're making an adjustment of transporting that that experience which you were not equipped, prepared to deal with, and therefore it can become very traumatic, and because you couldn't possibly have imagined if this could had you know, oh, that's that which is happening to you, and even when you arrived, you can't imagine that which is this is still what's happening to you. So there, those who have captured their their imagination of of their of their thinking um, when it comes to dignity and nobility. So what they had to hold on to um, was the teachings of of their ancestral homeland, but the dignity and the nobility of that, just as well as the dignity and nobility of of of, of Islam. Yes, yes, Islam. But that's true, you know. I don't promote anything other than religious ideology of philosophy or doctrine. I just promote the value of self worth because that's what we want to try to follow in the tradition of the about of the ancestors. You know, the African ancestors. And when it comes to this supreme cosmic intelligence, you know, yes, it's cosmic intelligence, supreme cosmic intelligence. So that be the case, we realize uh, because that which is the tradition of the ancestors of becoming a new people, um, you know, it is to that which must they are able to identify with, and that which has become very recognizable that they, you know, want to restore a new people is their human dignity. And and as the teachings of Islam say, we were born not in sin, but in dignity and nobility. So that's what, you know, leaders tradition, the tradition of African leaders. Because if you think about it, um, if we look at like Emmett Till, his mother, very powerful sister, and it's kind of touching, is that the insanity and the barbaric nature that will uh, brutalize a young man um, and left him there as if he was not human. So the mother uh, refused to uh, allow the casket to be shed, and there's several ways you can look at it, but she wanted to, you know, to see the going to try to um, in the tradition of our ancestors, and as we were born in nobility and dignity, is the dignity of her son. Yes, show the world how a people try to destroy his dignity, but she held true to her dignity. I don't know the lady, never met her, of course, but I'm just saying, man, if we understand the tradition and connect with the tradition of our people, it's that it was about, dignity, man, dignity, human dignity, and show the world that this is how these people went about trying to destroy the dignity of her son. But she held on to her dignity and to his dignity at the very end. Whether she understood, whether she could articulate this or not, whatever the trauma that she was dealing with, um, to in some strange way she uh, wanted to capture the imagination, if I may use that word, of the world, of saying, listen, look, man, look, this is my son, you know. He still, I still see in him the nobility and dignity in which he was born. Powerful, man. Powerful. So, I think for the most part is that in this new people, new African people, New Zealand, New York, New England, whatever, it is a life that they can identify with, that they want to, you know, be a recognized and appreciated for and valued, and that is that which they can identify with is their dignity, the dignity. Now, and I think that we must realize that I mean, new type of people here, is that once you destroy an image of a people, they will communicate that destruction. Yes, dignity is the state or quality of being worthy of honor and respect. There was a saying about an individual, don't know if it's true or not, maybe getting handed down information that they were playing in some athletic game field. Excuse me. He told his teammates, "Aren't you worthy?" I'm paraphrasing. "Aren't you worthy of being honored today?" That's dignity. He instilled that in their mind and their attitude. Aren't you worthy of being honored today? Honor of respect. So you have the valor. You have the courage. You have the wherewithal. I'm adding it to it. You have that. You're worthy of being worthy or honored of honor of respect today. So let's go out there in spite of anything else. Let's put that in our mind. Let's go. So therefore, they proved that they were worthy of honor and respect. So what is this? I'm realizing more and more and more is that in the tradition of my ancestral pool and my ancestors and a new person, and you put away, what they call childish things, and a new person, because remember, you want you are worthy of honor and respect, and not at the expense of you dishonoring others and devaluing others and disrespecting others, because what one is disrespecting is the freedom, the human freedom, I mean the human intellect, the freedom to think. And people who came here who were not forced understand the freedom, justice, and equality. It is the freedom of the intellect, one's potential to think, to reflect, to meditate. And we know that the past is just a reference point, is not a place of residence. So we can reference the the decency, the honor and respect of the human dignity. And once we restore the human dignity, then therefore one becomes very credible, a credible human being. And once one becomes a credible human being, he becomes a reliable, a dependable, a committed, a determined, a dedicated, decent, caring, loving, generous human being in a diversified way. Because a musician plays music, that doesn't define who he she is, that's just an expression of him or her. And therefore one's it be addressing one's aspiration, because when inspiration comes down, one's aspiration goes up. Then that makes that particular individual become more coherent. And once that individual become more coherent, his confidence is it's not the pace of regaining and restoring regaining his confidence is quicker, because if he or she has no confidence, he or she is twice defeated. So this honor, a word of being honored, uh, when it comes to dignity, the confidence, and then there leads to the respect, and therefore we have what is called the solidarity. The solidarity, and the solidarity is the not the individual identity, but the collective identity of nobility and dignity as a new person, as a new nation, and as a new humanity. Locally, nationally, internationally. Come back to your humanity. Until next time, talk to you.